Hey everyone, my name is Matt Cooper, aka MODC Architecture, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about being an architecture student in Tier 4 or in any lockdown. It's quite difficult for sure, it's challenging, and I'm sure everyone can relate to that. But I'm going to be talking a little bit about things that you could maybe do to make your life a bit easier, and the struggles that we face as students for sure, especially in architecture. So the first one is motivation. It is the hardest thing to find motivation while you've been sitting in your room, especially for me. I get up from my bed there and then get to my desk here and just work all day, and it is the hardest thing to do to find motivation because you're just not leaving the same room. So it's really important to keep things fresh, keep things different during this sort of time. So with an architecture course, you've got different modules. You've got your history and theory, your main project, your design, and then your environmental and technical studies, and then your PP as well. And it's really important to keep those modules ticking over at the same time, because otherwise you're just going to go crazy doing the same thing over and over each day, and that's when you find it hard to get motivated, when you're just going back to the same thing, especially if you're having tutorials every other couple of days, and then you go back, you have to revisit a drawing, make a new drawing, and the whole process just gets quite repetitive if you're just focusing on that one thing. Whereas if you focus on different things throughout your week, yes, you may not get as much done in design, but you'll probably produce better work because you're going to be more motivated to do that work, because it'll be a bit of a change of scene rather than just the monotonous kind of focus on one single thing for like 3 months and then to rush everything at the end in your other subjects. I know a few people who do that. It kind of works out for them, but they get very stressed at the end, and it's just not worth it. Especially, you don't need any more stress during these sorts of times. So I would recommend doing that sort of thing to balance your work out into separate different sort of periods of time throughout the day, or just concentrate on one module a day, that kind of thing, just to vary up your workload. Second thing I would do is definitely try and get outside as much as you can afford to, because, you know, being stuck in your room, not the greatest thing. Like, it's fine for a certain amount of time. However, eventually you do need to go out and escape. So get out, do some walking. Just walking is fine. Find a park or something, sit on a bench, whatever. Like, it just calms the mind, and it allows you to refocus. And that is really important being an architecture student, because I'm really bad at it. I procrastinate so much. And what I found when I've started doing this is that my mind just focuses a lot more on the task at hand, whatever work I've set myself to do that day. So it just means I get it done quicker, and then I can just have a chill evening rather than procrastinate and then be working at like 11 p.m. and I'm just hating myself for it. Number 3, studying on your own can get quite demoralizing, is the word I'd use. But in reality, like, you're feeling a bit down. Try and talk to your peers, basically. Try and talk to your friends at uni. Especially in lockdown, it's important. Get a video call up, work together on something, or just work while you're on call. It may seem a bit weird at first, but you just start chatting and stuff, and if it helps you at the time, then it helps you, and that's what you need. Like, you need to just keep your mind fresh. You need to just not go crazy, because again, being locked inside, studying architecture, studying whatever, to be honest, if you're just on your own, no contact with anyone else, you will start going nuts. So make sure you talk to people. Even if you're living at home with your mum and dad, go downstairs, chill with them for a bit, and then go back to your work. Just make sure you have some form of interaction, because it's definitely helped me. And number 4, sort of with all what I'm saying, it's kind of leading all towards mental health. Make sure you keep your mental health in check. Like, talk to your university if you are feeling like down or anything, because they are there to help. I know a few friends of mine who have done that, and they've really benefited from that sort of thing. So make sure you keep your mental health in check, and doing the running, doing the exercise outside, or just going outside, keeping your work varied, and make sure you have off time and talk to your friends. Like, that will just make sure that you don't go crazy during lockdown studying architecture. Number 5, talk to your tutors as well. Like, your tutors are there to help you regardless, they have a duty of care over you. And if you're struggling, you got to tell them. You got to let them know, because they're there to help. They've been there before. Granted, not in the same sort of situation. It's completely different. However, they can help as much as they can, because I can guarantee that they're having just as much issues at work, whether they're working in their own studio, in their own practice, or whether it's at the university. Whatever's happening, they're being disrupted just as much as us. So they can relate. They can help out. Give you an extension, perhaps, something like that, just anything to help out. So yeah, definitely talk to your tutors, because they can also be a friend to you. They can also just be quite nice. Don't just think of them as your tutor. Think of them as someone who you can actually talk to, go and actually have a conversation with, rather than just have to talk about work. Because I used to do that. I used to just think of my tutor as someone who would be there to grade my work, and I need to be scared of them. No, you work with your tutors at university to make sure that you can have that sort of like normal chat, so that things are a bit more relaxed for you. Number 6, have fun. Make sure that you just have as much fun as you can, and do whatever you want kind of with your project. Just make sure it's interesting to you, but most importantly, have fun. Make sure that you try and have as much of a university experience as you can during lockdown. It's the hardest thing to do, to try and go and see your friends and stuff, because of lockdown, and you can't do that because we need to get rid of this virus. But try and just have as much of an experience. So that's talking to your friends and stuff, like just hanging out and just chilling out with them on a call or whatever, doing things virtually. I know it's not the same, and I know it sucks so much, and I'm so sorry for everyone who's in first year as well, if you're watching this, because it just isn't what architecture is meant to be. Architecture is meant to have, the studio life is just a huge part of it. You get to see everyone, you get to see their work, things going on, you see crits going on left, right and centre. It's alive, the space is alive, and it's so much better to be in that kind of a scene rather than just at home. I feel like everything's quite formal over the camera, especially with your tutors, so it's even more effort to go and have a talk with them. But in the studio, things are relaxed. It's great. There's always chatter going on. You can always go and look at someone's work and be inspired by them. So I really do feel for anyone studying architecture, because it's just not the same. It's not what you get into it for. You don't get into it for just sitting at your desk grinding away at these drawings. You go in and you get inspired by people's work. You go there for an experience rather than just to work hard and just to knuckle down and produce these drawings. Because for your architecture to develop, you do need that sort of surrounding things. So make sure you another thing, just off the top of my head, make sure that you attend other people's tutorials and other people's crits, because you'll see their work for the first time, because you won't see it anywhere else. So make sure you look at other people's work to help with your architecture during lockdown, because you can only do things virtually now. So if you look at people's work, your work will benefit from that, because you'll be inspired by it. So yeah, that's kind of everything. That's what being an architecture student is like during lockdown. It's not great. It's really hard to keep things balanced, and to kind of have friendships with your mates at uni and stuff. It's tough. It's tough, and I can only hope that we get rid of this as soon as possible, this coronavirus, because you want everyone to have the university experience that they're paying for as well. So hopefully the vaccine will help. Hopefully England will get out of lockdown as soon as possible. At the time of recording, it's looking like everyone's going into tier 4. So yeah, that's not great. Hope you all had a happy Christmas, and have a happy New Year as well. Take care. See ya.